to bring the workers' struggle and the climate justice movement together, because we believe that we need to unite to survive. So thank you for this introduction, and we're going to move on to our first session, which is about the change we need. We're going to hear from a few speakers now. We're going to be talking about climate jobs, we're going to be talking about trade union and greenwashing, and hearing about some amazing work that has been done with oil workers in the North Sea. So I think the first speakers I'm going to call in is Suzanne Jeffery from the Campaign Against Climate Change Trade Union Group. They've done some amazing work around climate jobs, because we know that actually action on climate means that we would create jobs, not just delay jobs. So I'm really pleased to welcome Suzanne, and remember, you've only got 5 minutes. Make sure you speak loud into the microphone.
I just check that everybody can hear me. Is that a yes? Ish. Is it an ish? Okay, all right. So my name is Suzanne Jeffery. I'm chair of Campaign Against Climate Change Trade Union Group. I'm also a teacher, and I'm an NU member, and I've been involved with thousands of public sector workers, tens, hundreds of thousands of public sector workers in challenging this government's agenda over the last few months. I want to say 3 things. First of all, we have had decades, largely under a Tory government, of an attempt to counterpose jobs in the climate. And whenever jobs are talked about, they are held up as ones that are necessary in order to provide employment, and they tend to be an agenda which is focused on maintaining fossil fuel agenda and neglecting any attempt to reduce emissions. So in the last few years, decades, we've had the focus on fracking, a failed attempt to launch a fracking program in this country, all around the idea of we need to create jobs. The continued airport expansion, which draws on the idea that this will create many, many jobs. Currently, at this moment in time, in response to the energy crisis, instead of the transformation that we need to our economy, the focus is being on the creation of jobs through our new coal mine, the creation of jobs through new oil and gas exploration, and under the radar, the most expensive and dangerous form of energy. Again, it's going to create jobs, which is nuclear energy. What is permanently neglected is, one, any serious attempt to tackle the climate crisis, and every year in which those arguments hold sway, in which there isn't a significant challenge to that policy, is further delay in tackling the climate crisis. But there is an alternative. There is a real alternative which can create jobs and tackle the climate crisis. So let's just talk about climate jobs, green jobs. It doesn't really matter what term you give it. Climate jobs is useful because we could be tackling the climate crisis and be proud of it. I want to pick on 2 things. Okay, thank you. I want to pick on 2 key things. We have responded, or this government has responded to the energy crisis by subsidising a failed market on energy. Instead, we could have been spending huge investment on insulating our homes and creating millions of skilled and well-paid jobs in the process, on maintaining the quality of our homes so that we can maintain the low energy use within our homes. All of that is being neglected. Secondly, it's been spoken about already. Instead of investing in more and more cars, even electric cars, we could be investing in a radical public transport system, which actually means that a transport system that works outside of London, because it's the only place that really does have a public transport system, and allows the creation of jobs that are allowing people to move around sustainably and be able to access a decent quality of life by using a decent public transport system. Now that's just the tip of the iceberg. In our report here, there are many other jobs that could be created. In agriculture, in nature restoration, in education, in training, etc., etc., etc. There are millions of jobs that could be created which give people a good quality of life and tackle the climate crisis. I've got 2 things to finish on. However, this demand for climate jobs and green jobs, we've got to combine it with the demand for public ownership, and we have to combine it with the demand for a transformation of our economy, and one which prioritises people and planet rather than the narrow, profit-hungry greed of the super rich here in this country and globally. We can combine those demands as part of an environmental movement, as part of a trade union movement, then we have the potential to win something which can tackle this devastating climate and ecological crisis. My final point is on the strikes. Many of us have been on strike and know there is support and solidarity from the environmental movement, which we haven't seen before, for that strikes right across society. But the strikes matter for another reason. We have to have the power to bring about those transitions. We have to shift the dial away from a focus on neoliberalism and capitalism to a focus on a different kind of society, a different kind of economy. And the strikes, if we succeed, begin to shift that dial. They don't transform things, but they create a power which can then take things in a different direction. And that's why the strikes matter, and that's why struggle matters as well. Solidarity to you all. I hope everybody enjoys the rest of the day.
Thank you so much, Suzanne.